Hello, denizens of the internet. You most likely saw my reviews of Amazon's Fallout. Overall, I enjoyed the show and I heartily recommend it. The weakest episode, in my opinion, was the first. In this video, I'm going to suggest changes to the Brotherhood of Steel segment that would have fixed the problems I had with it. Now, I've had the benefit of having seen all of the shows, and while the BOS parts evolved reasonably well, it still didn't change my thoughts on what they could have done differently. So it would have made more sense and introduced Maximus in a way that would have made him more appealing, likable. I've now seen Aaron Moten, who played Maximus, in interviews, and he's a very charming person. I was quite negative about the character in my review, as many of you were also. Why am I doing this? Because, as a writer, it's fun to try to solve problems. The best part is you don't have to agree, and it becomes a jumping off point for interesting discussions. But there is no question the Brotherhood of Steel segments were the least liked. So let's dive in. I had three problems. One, they didn't make it absolutely clear who the squires were. Two, what their job was. Three, their relationship to the knights. The scene starts with Maximus getting beat up by whom, it's not clear. Looks like fellow squires in training. Not quite sure what the point of this was. Was this some sort of hazing ritual, or did they just not like Maximus? Thaddeus shows up to give Maximus a boot, but it was so quick. Would anyone remember him? Did he have a hate on Maximus? It was not set up well enough to presage their relationship. It seems it was just an excuse to show Dane as a caring person. I do have a problem with Dane, but it's not what you think it is, and I'll explain it soon enough. We see the barracks, we get it, military training, but they are just running about. If they were shown running with the knights' packs they'd have to carry as squires, that would have given us a clue as to what their function was. As it stands, it's a lost opportunity. There is something called Chekhov's gun. It means you show the gun early in a play that you will fire later. You don't just pull a gun on someone, you presage it. Then there was the classroom scene where we got a hint about their duties to find old tech and secure it. That was obscure, but while lore accurate, who cares? The people in the class were kind of slovenly dumbasses for the most part. If this was an anime, this gang would be eager to succeed because becoming a squire would have been very competitive. Maybe that was the case, but I just didn't get that from it. Maximus getting whacked in the nose by the teacher was weird. Why portray him as a moron? All it did was make me think, this is the loser we'll be following in the show? At least make him a keener loser. The scene where the knights land in their skyships was impressive, but all we got was chatter about what kind of model power suit that they were wearing. Perhaps it was a budget thing, but it would have been much clearer seeing the knights out of their armor, commiserating in their own section of the camp, a much nicer section, much like enlisted versus officers. Seeing how the knights treat existing squires would have been helpful, making it clear there are new positions because of squire deaths could have gotten the trainees excited or fearful to fill those vacancies. Now, I've already written enough to plot out an entire episode, but we needed more presaging. It would have been nice to clarify that Titus was a knight in need of a squire. We do see him shuffling about behind Maximus during the interrogation sequence, but it wasn't clear that it was Titus. At least, not to me, but I'm stupid. Upon several viewings, my assumption was that Titus was there because he had lost Dane, his new squire. None of that was clear, and here I'm bringing up the point I mentioned earlier. The scrawny Dane was physically incapable of managing a knight's supplies. So, what made Dane more qualified than Maximus? If we had seen recruits stumbling about with packs while marching or running, then at least we could have identified the capable. In fact, rather than that silly jailhouse brawl at the start, it would have started with the raw recruits having to deal with the Knights packs. Yes, I know I've provided enough plot for an entire show, but elements of what I've included could have been provided using shorthand. Making clear Maximus's ambition to be a squire would have made his character more palatable, even if all the recruits were morons. I look forward to your comments. Till next time, denizens, be seeing you.